Hello everybody and welcome to this, hopefully not too long, offline YouTube educational. We're not long out of our live session where we did trade mostly Dow today being 23rd of September 2025. I have the dynamic edge on screen on the Dow, and the reason for that is because I will ideally make this session public, available to be viewed by everybody. Now, we do have some new words for the Yodapedia. I'll tell you those in a moment. But this session, this offline YouTube recording, is all about the meaning of life, or at least my take on the meaning of life. You all know that very often in my sessions I get a little bit political, and today might not be any different. It will all be related to our charts though. So before I carry on, I'm going to go with the new words for the Yodapedia. Daxed. Those who trade with me in the mornings know that on, what day was it? It was, I believe, the where could have been the 9th of September, it could have been the 11th. I'm just looking at where we did the morning. The 16th, no, it was earlier than that, the 18th. It was the 18th of September where 80 pips were available to us from 4 trades on the DAX, and we came up with 2 new Yodapedia words. Daxed, when we've had an easy morning trading the DAX, it's obviously in the past, we got daxed. It was an easy lob as well on that day, for those who know about that particular TOD or time of day trade. And then daxterous, courtesy of Christopher, meaning making easy pips from the DAX. Again, that would have been the 18th, which was Thursday last week. So it's Tuesday today, the 23rd of the 9th, and I want to talk about the meaning of life. And I believe that our meaning, our use, our purpose in life is to make the lives of our children better than was our lives. Now, I was chatting to my sister recently, and she has definitely come around to my way of thinking in the way our parents were with us. Some of you who know me know about that, and some don't. I won't go into the detail. Suffice to say, she was discussing it with or her daughter complained, one of her daughters complained about something, I won't tell you which one, and my sister said, you know what, and she opened fire and told her that some of the things that we experienced as youngsters. So I firmly believe that both my sister and I, blood sister that is, the foster kids are doing great, got much better start than we ever did, but anyway, yeah, foster sisters and brothers, yes, I have some, and I still think very highly and still keep in touch. They mean a lot to me. Anyway, kids, we make our children's lives better than was ours. How do we do it? Well, we teach them about trading for a start, because then they've got a great approach to mathematics, life, the universe, and everything, if you like. How? Well, they hide information like this in books, and I've heard people say, oh, my kids won't listen to me. How do I get my kids to listen to me? Great advice for everybody. Read them a book. Read a story to your child. Make it in age appropriate. So if they're, toddlers, somewhere below 5, find a book that suits under 5s. Maybe it's the Gruffalo, I don't know, I don't care. Find a book that suits toddlers and read that to them. As they grow older, find more age appropriate books, but read to them before bed. Sit down and read to them. You want to know if they're listening? Read the same chapter twice, not right back to back, but maybe the next night. Read the chapter that you read the night before. You'll know if they're listening then, won't you? I think it's a good idea. It's something, I don't read the same chapter twice, but I know my little girl is listening to me, because we both enjoy the stories. I'm not sure who enjoys them most, actually. She literally Went to the library and met an author recently here in Carlow. The author was very pleased that Stacey had read one of her books that we got from the library, and because she read it and liked it, we bought the set. I think there are 5 or 6, I don't recall, but we bought them, and we were very fortunate to have the author sign them for us. Now my little girl is reading them alone, but I'll probably read them after her because they look they look interesting. Now, if you want to teach them something while you're reading a book, make it a book with a moral or some ethical value. And indeed, a passage read to me by the author of the book, she did it at a books gathering, really, if you like, a writers' club. And she read about how one child did not like telling lies to another. And I thought that was very good. And there you go. Wasn't that right away a little lesson for the children? Something to learn from. Again, we're looking at the Tao, and we can learn from that. I wonder, do people realize why is the Tao hovering where it is right now? Well, combination of things. Not only is there a big round number, but you all know how I like to draw my fibs, and it's usually a run of colour. But when there's been a big move, I will absolutely take a fib and draw it from the ultimate low, and yes, we did buy it, and go to the ultimate high, and you can see we've faffed around the 61.8. We're battling the 61.8 right now, and we've tried to break the 38.2, and if we do, there'll be a bit of an X, A, B, C, a W on the go if we manage that. There are EMAs in the way. There is a lot in the way, and there you go, 61.8 breached while we were watching. The 2 minutes in sell mode, the 1 minute gave a signal, so there are pips available, at least down to the big round number, if not all the way through. I also wanted to get political and talk about Miss Thunberg, Greta Thunberg, because she's still going on about our cars. She's whinging about me going to the shops in me big diesel engine or petrol or whatever, whichever we take, doesn't really matter. But is she whinging about the nukes that are being tested and all the bombs that are being thrown? Yeah, she's complaining about some that are being thrown at perhaps a very small minority, but there is a war ongoing that has the potential to turn global, and I wonder how she feels about certain lands being made, what's the word, unlivable for the next century or so. I wonder how that affects those people who worry about greens, trees and things like that. And yeah, I do too. But I think we've bigger fish to fry. That's the reality. And how do we fry them? Well, we can write to our MP, we can write to who we like. Nobody's going to listen, so it doesn't really matter what we think or what we say until we actually start drawing little moustaches on Mr. Putler. It's not going to make much of a difference until he realises what it is we think. The signals anyway today, as you can see on the 1 minute, absolutely pink, white, purple wrapped together by hopper mode, moved up away from zero, tally ho, and there were continuations for those of you who follow me using the T2B2. Then we had higher highs and lower highs, and then we started falling off down to and through a big round number. You all know about my levels, so you can see we've rejected a 60 up here. Just going to put a crosshair on that and check that it is well, I can see it's a 60. Look, 60 on the 1 minute. So we attempted the 60 and failed with some level of divergence, and then we fell off for what would have been a 160 pip ish move, depending on where you entered, where you decided you were entering. Divergence, rejection of a line, and a signal. Discipline outranks whatever strategy it is you wish to use. I chatted earlier to some of my learned friends and colleagues, and they said exactly that. Discipline beats strategy every day. A bad trader with discipline will survive. A great trader without discipline is just going to give it all away. That's the truth of the matter. And yes, we have several holy grails, but unless you're using or approaching them with some level of discipline, you're not going to do very well. The advancement that we're making regards the automated stuff, it's not going to be automated. Those of you who follow me, you know we are looking at putting the signals on screen and having the no comment sessions where I will not be there, I would like to remind you all that machines of the future, they'll be as smart as people. Okay, yeah, we get that, but which people? Because that really matters, and we need to be sure that we are always employing discipline along with our usual rules. Of course, the rules of our discipline outrank pretty much everything else that we're looking at. This session's lasted 10 minutes. I hope you enjoy it. Please, by all means, give me some feedback. Trade safe, though, as always. And those of you who are in the next live session, coming up in 30 minutes, I'll see you there. Trade safe, everybody, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.